Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are completing your works and getting ready for the corrections. Okay, welcome to today's Social Studies online class. In the last class, we have seen how the Muslim League encouraged all the Muslims in India to fight for a separate nation, Pakistan. Also, we have seen about the activities of the Hindu Mahasabha. We also have seen about the name Pakistan, how it was coined. In today's class, we will learn who will make the British quit India and how it was done. By 1941, Japan had started expanding into Southeast Asia. The colored countries, what you see children, all those belong to Southeast Asia. And this was also a great threat to our India as well. The British wanted Indians to support in the war against Japan, but we were not ready. In March 1942, Prime Minister of Britain, Winston Churchill, he sent one of his ministers, Sir Stafford Cripps, to India to try and make a compromise with Gandhiji and Congress. But these talks failed after the Congress insisted that the Viceroy should appoint an Indian as the defense member of his executive council. It was called as the Cripps Mission. After the failure of the Cripps Mission, Mahatma Gandhi decided to launch his third major movement against the Britishers, that was the Quit India campaign. It was begun in August 1942. Gandhiji was sent to jail, but other younger activists organized strikes and all over the country. The young men and women left their colleges to go to jail in very large numbers. Socialist members of the Congress, such as Jayaprakash Narayan, were particularly active in the underground resistance movement. Children, many younger activists, they left their colleges and joined the movement. In some places, that is Satara in the west and Medinipur in the east, independent governments were declared. That means they themselves declared that they were free, they got freedom. It took more than a year for the Britishers to suppress the Indians. The Communist Party of India, in the meanwhile, decided to support the British war effort. Children, the Communist Party of India, CPI party, you all know that. So, that they wanted to support the British in the war, in the World War II. It was alarmed at the attack on the Soviet Union by the Nazis. These Nazis, that means Germany, Hitler, they attacked the Soviet Union. So, by that, these Communist Party of India, they got frightened. So, they wanted to stop Hitler. That's why they wanted to support the Britishers in the war, World War II. It realized the danger at a world level and called the war a people's war. Children here, they have realized that it was not only a danger for Soviet Union, but it is a danger for the world, whole world, and called the war a people's war, and it was called a people's war. On the contrary, Gandhi felt that Indians would be able to handle Japan on their own after the British leave India. That means Gandhiji felt that Indians can be able to handle Japan if Japan invaded India. We have seen that. So Indians would be able to handle Japan if the British, after the British leave India. The initial victories of Japan against the Americans and the Europeans created a strong impression on the people in India. Children, the initial victories of Japan. So Japan started invading all the countries as a part of the World War II. So Japan got winning over the Americans and the Europeans, and it created a strong impression on the people in India. That means why? Because Japan, a small Asian country, it was able to defeat Americans and Europeans, and why not we? And it created, it impressed Indians to win the war against the Britishers. Firstly, it seemed that the Europeans would get defeated very soon. Secondly, Japan was an Asian country and they could stand up against the European colonists. Indians felt that they too can stand up and fight against Britain decisively. That means surely we also would be able to fight against the Britishers. That's what Indians felt. The myth means here a false opinion. The myth that the British race was superior than others was destroyed in the minds of people. Before that, people used to think that the Britishers were the superior than any other countries. So that kind of myth was destroyed after the Japan got winning over the Europeans. Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to take the opportunity created by the difficulties of the British, and he said that India's independence is the utmost importance for everyone, and he wanted to take the help of the Japan to throw out the British from India. So he went secretly to Germany and Japan and collected an army of Indian soldiers in 1942. Who were these soldiers? In the beginning, these soldiers were under the British Army. They had been captured by the Japanese when the British were defeated in Burma and Malaya. They were called as POWs, that means prisoners of war. Subhash Chandra Bose recruited them in his army, which he called the Indian National Army, and later other Indians also joined INA. But Gandhiji did not agree with the plans of Bose. He felt that Japanese cannot be liberators of India. That means he don't want to take the help of Japan in getting freedom for India. But Subhash Chandra Bose continued in his chosen path and led the Indian army against the Britishers for almost 3 years. Subhash Chandra Bose INA was defeated finally by the British, and it was not certain whether Bose disappeared or died. But we know, children, Bose was died in a plane crash which was recently found. In June 1944, when the World War was about to end, the British government released Gandhiji, and again they had talks and negotiations regarding India's freedom. The soldiers of INA were imprisoned and the British decided to punish them. They hanged them to death in punishment. There was unrest, unhappiness, and discontent in different parts of India, and also the Hindus and Muslim identity and separate politics also became unimportant during such times. For example, when the trials were begun of INA soldiers, most of them died were Muslims. Then people became angry and shown sympathy on those soldiers. After the end of war, the situation in the country was worse. People were restless because of food shortages, rationing of food. Here, children, rationing of food. That means they were storing the food grains and not selling to the people. And high prices, black marketing, and hoarding. Hoarding also, that is, goods were not sold to the people. When there was a high rate for that particular good, they used to sell at that times. All these occurred after the war came to an end. That was the situation in India. Workers were angry about low wages. Workers were given very low wages. Railway, postal employees and other government employees were planning to go on India-wide strike against prices. So as the prices rose, all these railway, postal employees and other government employees, they were planning to go on India-wide strike against the rising prices. Children, on 18th February 1946, the gods or ratings of the Royal Indian Indian Navy people, all those gods in Bombay Harbour went on hunger strike to protest against bad food and behavior of their British officers. Children, what happened in 1946? The guards of Indian Royal Navy in Bombay, they went on hunger strike. Hunger strike means they have not eaten food and they went on strike. Why they went on that hunger strike? Because of the bad food given to them. And also this behaving of the British officers towards the Indians. The strike rapidly spread to other naval men on the Bombay shore and all the naval bases in India. The strike which was started in Bombay, it was spread to all the other naval shores of Bombay and also all the other naval bases in India. Wherever naval bases, Navy people are there in India, all of them also had done this strike. The Navy men put up the tricolour, the crescent and the hammer and the sickle flags jointly on the mast of the ship. That means, children, all these Navy men, they wanted to show that they are also fighting for the freedom of India and they were against the Britishers. That's why they have shown the tricolour. Tricolour means Indian flag, the crescent and the hammer and sickle flags. The crescent means it represents the Muslims and the hammer and sickle means the communist people. All these flags were jointly were put on the mast of the ship. That means on the top of the ship. A naval central strike committee was elected with M.S. Khan as their head. M.S. Khan was their head, who's a naval central strike committee. And the strike committee demanded better food. They demanded better food, equal pay for white and Indian sailors. That means they used to get, until then, they used to get a different pay scale for the Britishers and for the Indians. So they demanded better food, equal pay for white and Indian soldiers. Here white means Britishers. They also demanded for the release of INA and other political prisoners and withdrawal of Indian troops from Indonesia. Children, these Navy people, they also demanded for the release of INA soldiers and also political prisoners who were being arrested in the year 1942 and all. And also they demanded for the withdrawal of Indian troops from Indonesia. Indian troops were sent to fight in Indonesia for the sake of British. So they also demanded for the withdrawal of Indian troops from Indonesia. 78 ships, 20 shore establishments, and 20,000 ratings means here guards, took part in the strike. All these they have participated in the strike. Hundreds of students, both Hindus and Muslims, came out on the streets of Bombay to support them. So many hundreds of students, both Hindus and Muslims together, they came out on the streets and to support this naval strike. They also clashed with the police and the army. They also clashed with the police and the army people. On February, 22.3 lakh mill workers put down their tools in Bombay and fought violently for 2 days on the streets with the police and the army. See children, even the mill workers, 22.3 lakh mill workers, they put down their tools. That means they stopped their work and in Bombay especially, and fought very violently for 2 days on the streets with the police and the army. The year 1946 was a year of strikes. It was regarded as the year of strikes. 1946 was a year of strikes and work stoppages in factories and mills in many parts of country. CPI and the socialist parties were active in these movements. In these movements, who were very active children? CPI party and the socialist parties of India were very actively participated in the movements. The countryside was also on the boil. What is the meaning of the countryside? That means villages. The village people were also on the boil. That means they were also very angry with the British rule. Children, now in this you will be getting, in this paragraph you will be getting the most important question, that is 2 marks question, that is about what is called Tebaga movement. That is, an agitation was started in Bengal by small and poor peasants who took land of the bigger landowners to cultivate. So this agitation, that means a strike. A strike was started in Bengal by whom? Small and poor peasants, and they have taken the land from bigger landowners to cultivate. What was their problem? Why they started the agitation? What was their demand? They demanded that their share of harvest should be increased to 2 portions out of 3 instead of half or even less. See children, when these small peasants, they take land from the landowners, they used to get only half or even less share for themselves. So they demanded that their share of harvest should be increased to 2 portions. They should get 2 portions out of 3 portions. That means out of the whole 3 portions, they wanted 2 portions of harvest. That was their demand. This was eventually given to them at that time. Because of their movement, they have achieved that. This was called the Tebaga movement. What is that children? It was called as the Tebaga movement and was led by the Provincial Kisan Sabha. Tebaga movement was led by the Provincial Kisan Sabha. In Hyderabad, the Communist Party led a massive movement of farmers of the Telangana region. Children, you remember of Telangana region, especially the Communist Party led a massive movement of farmers in Hyderabad. The Telangana farmers opposed the large landowners and demanded that debts of farmers be cancelled. What was their demand? What was the demand of the Telangana farmers? They opposed the large landowners. They were opposing. They don't want these large landowners. They wanted to take that land from the large landowners, and they also demanded that debts of farmers, whatever loans they have taken, all those loans must be cancelled. They also demanded that bonded labor should be stopped. Telangana farmers demanded that Bonded labor, it was there before children. Bonded labor, forcibly they used to make them to do the work for the landlords. So bonded labor should be stopped and the land be distributed to those who worked on it. That means those who work on the fields, that land should be given to them. The peasants took up arms to fight against the rulers and their armies. So in those times, the rulers used to rule India. So the peasants took up arms to fight against the rulers and their armies. Almost 3,000 villages were part of the movement. See children, nearly 3,000 villages, 3,000 in 3,000 villages, all the farmers took part in this movement. Another armed revolt of peasants took place in Travancore, Kerala, in Punnapra Vayalar. Understand children, in Travancore also, at a place called Punnapra Vayalar, a peasants movement took place like in Telangana region. Okay. Now it's your turn. Write down the homework in the rough book and send it to me in time.